I will talk about the topic when we depart. When we depart. And then some of you may say that, oh, why are you talking about this? I will not be departing yet. In reality, none of us know when we are going to depart. So therefore, if we talk about this topic now, I think it is meaningful because it will get to the time when we have to depart. Could be tomorrow, could be today. Nobody knows. Really, nobody knows. And I think it's very much Buddhist topic. For Buddhist people who must be practical in their practice, this is a very, I would say, very practical to note that how are we going to prepare ourselves when the time comes. We were born. That is definite. We know the date of our birthday. I was born on such and such date, such and such month, such and such year. And then, definitely, we will die. But we do not know the date. In between our birth and our death is what you call life. We are alive. Now we are alive. Every minute that we are alive, it should be preparation for the time of our departure. All of us have to depart. Nobody yet was born and still remain forever. There is no such thing as remaining in this life forever. So all the time, every moment is a preparation for that time that we will be departing, which is called death. The word death, if you break down death, D-E-A-T-H. D is definite. It is definite that all of us will have to die. All of us will have to come to that day that we actually have to go. E is for equality. Death is something that equalizes all of us. Whether you are poor, whether you are rich, whether you are small, you are big, all of us will have to die. So death is equalizer. It equalizes all of us. That doesn't matter whether you are very rich or very poor, eventually we will come to this state that we die. A stands for me, A stands for afraid. Afraid. Why are we afraid of death? Because we don't know. We don't know. We are in this stage of ignorance. We don't know when we are going to die, how we are going to die, whether we will be happy after death. That we don't know. That's why we are afraid of death. The next letter is T. T stands for time. We really don't know when we are going to die. We don't have the time. We have the time that we were born. I was born on such and such day, and such hour, such and such minutes. But none of us at present know when we are going to die. So the time is still not known. The next letter, the last letter in this word, death, is H. H is how. How are we going to die? Still, we do not know. And we cannot choose. We cannot choose. I would like to die in my bed. You can wish, but when it comes, when the actual time comes, nobody really can design our death. That we would like to die on such and such date, we would like to die in this way, in this manner. We don't know. So, because we don't know when we are going to die, we have to prepare as though we are going to die now, as though you are going to die today. And people said, oh, then why are you so pessimistic? Why are you so pessimistic? This is not pessimism. This is realism. To follow life as it is, and be aware of this present moment and behave as though today is going to be our last day. When we realize that death is, how to say, we cannot plan. We cannot plan to have our death in this manner. We cannot plan that we would like to die on such and such date. Therefore, we have to prepare as though we are going to die today, tomorrow. So how are we going to prepare with this Buddhist practice? How are we going to prepare our death? So we have to come back to ourselves. How are we going to prepare to die? How we have lived. How we have lived. The life that we lived. Today you are 71 years old, you are 60 years old. Have you gathered enough good act to be sure that we are going to pass this life to the next existence happily? We don't know. We have not prepared yet. I'm so young, Venerable Mother. Why are you talking about death? I'm going to live forever. Nobody can say I'm going to live forever. And in reality, everyone dies at a certain time of life. So therefore, it is very important that we prepare ourselves to die as though it might happen today. It might happen tomorrow. So how are we going to prepare ourselves to face death? We talk about this what you call cows, you know, the white cows. Like in this big, large field, we talk about cows. You have black cows, you have white cows, and it's being fenced. And this fence, there is only one small gate. Only one cow can get out at one time. The door is open, the gate is open from outside. It is open from outside. It means that we are not opening it ourselves. It is somebody else who will open this gate. When this gate is going to be opened, we don't know. The white cows compared to Kusala-citta, that wholesome mind. And the black cows are compared to unwholesome mind, Akusala-citta. How can we be sure that when the gate is opened from outside, it is going to be the white cow that gets out? As you know, this gate, it is open and only one cow can get out at one time. The time of death. How can we be sure that at time of death, it is going to be the white cow that gets out to the next existence? Isn't that interesting? So we have to add more white cows. Yeah? We have to add more white cows so that you will have a large population of white cows. And the white cows, we hope that the white cows will somehow squeeze the black cows out, and the white cows will have access to this cage more than the black cows. So that when time comes, when this gate is open from outside, it will be the white cows, the white cow that gets out. Very interesting. Very interesting. So this brings us back to our present moment. How are we going to keep this present moment always wholesome? When it is wholesome, then you allow the white cows to be at that gate. And when the gate is open, be sure that it is white cows that will get out. We are talking about this last minute when we pass away from this existence to the next one. The white cows represent good, wholesome act, and the black cows represent the unwholesome act. If our new birth, our new existence is led by the white cow, it means that we are going to be born in wholesome, pleasant situation, pleasant context. So, in order to make sure that it is the white cow that gets out, taking you from this existence to the next one. We have to prepare so that we add more and more white cows in this large field. This brings us back to the present moment as Bhikkhunis, Samaneris, Sikhamana, and also laymen, laywomen. Always be prepared as though we are departing now. Always be prepared within your heart. Make sure that the quality of your heart is always wholesome. Wholesome, in Pali it is kusala. Always make sure that the mind always is in that kusalatit, wholesome mind. Yes, make sure that the formation of your mind is always wholesome. So when the time comes that you have to depart, often this time is not known to us. Very few experienced spiritual masters who actually can design their journey. But most of us wouldn't know. So we have to prepare as though we are taking the journey. At any moment, taking this journey from this existence to the next one, at any moment. So very important that we always have to familiarize ourselves with the white cows, which means that you keep your mind wholesome all the time. Keeping the mind wholesome all the time means you have to be practicing to be very watchful of the mind, so that the quality of the mind is such that it is always wholesome. This brings us back. We are preparing for death, but in this preparation for death, it is a practice. It is a practice, Buddhist practice, to keep the mind always wholesome. So, to keep the mind always wholesome, you have to be mindful. Be mindful of the present moment all the time. All the time. Very important practice for us Buddhists. Allow me to speak in Thai because they are falling asleep in front of me because they don't understand. So we have to increase the white cows in this large field. Have to increase the white cows and make sure that when we die, when we pass from this existence to the next one, it is a white cow that gets out, the wholesome mind that leads to the next existence. So this is the practice that we have to do now. We cannot do at the time of our death because we do not know when we are going to die. So very important that the practice must start from now. We cannot postpone and say, oh, I'm not old yet. Why Venerable Mother is always talking about death? Oh, I will live forever. Nobody can say that. Death is so immediate. Death is so immediate. Why I say so immediate? It depends on here. On this breathing in and out. Dualism, we have breathing in and breathing out. But when the time comes, there is breathing in and breathing out, and then there is no more breathing in. That is when death takes place. So simple. So simple. And our life hangs on this, what you call, this small thread of life, depending on this so fragile breathing in and breathing out. When it is stopped, there is no more breathing in. That's it. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how young you are. Breath is the same for all of us. That is breathing in, breathing out, and no more. So even our breathing is a reminder that you better add white cows. You better add white cows. Adding white cows means that you are always wholesome in the way you think, in the way you speak, in the way you act. That is a technique to increase the white cows. So our duty now is always to increase the white cows. Be wholesome in your mind, in your speech, in your body. To increase the white cows and not be negligent. We cannot be negligent because Here, everyone is looking at me when my mother will die first, because I'm old, older than most of you. But that's not true. That's not true. Death can take place even with the young ones, right? The way the Sangha look at me is as though they are looking at me to die first. I cannot promise. I cannot guarantee that I will be the one who go first. Might be one of you. Look at Prisapa. Now, Prisapa is already gone. Prisapa is our dog. Now, she's already gone. In fact, she is not the oldest one. She was not the oldest one among our dogs. Still, when time comes, she went. We also, all of us here, sitting here, the young ones always looking at the older bhikkhunis in front. Not definite. We may go before the older one. And because death is not definite like this, we cannot be sure. So we have to prepare, we have to practice, we have to continue living as though we might die this moment and make that moment a complete, wholesome thought, speech, act. So that we can be sure that our next existence will lead you to a better realm of existence. Okay? So we have to think about that now. And we have to prepare as though we are going to die now. Only in this way that we can continue our life meaningfully. ขอให้สังฆะทุกๆคนตั้งใจปฏิบัติตั้งใจดูลมหายใจให้ลมหายใจเป็นลมหายใจที่จะประคับประคองชีวิตของเราให้ยาวนานค่ะแล้วก็ให้ทุกๆคนเจริญในธรรมสาธุค่ะ